Okay. Good morning. Let's go ahead and take a moment to arrive with ourselves today. Finding our way to our mat. In a nice, comfortable, seated position. And just begin to check in with yourself. Allowing your eyes to close. Beginning to scan the body for any places you might have some tightness. Maybe you slept funny, maybe as you go deeper into your practice, it's just revealing places that have been holding tension for a long time. And as you scan your body, just connecting with your breath. Beginning at the top of the head. On your next inhale, dropping down into the neck, just checking in. The shoulders. Down the arms. All the way into the fingertips. Coming back to the neck and shoulders and scanning down the spine. Into the shoulder blades. Down to the lower back. The belly. And your internal organs. Moving to your hips. And your sits bones. Where you rest against the mat. Feeling into your upper thighs. Knees. Checking in with your calves, shins. Down to your ankles. Down through your feet and toes. We're just going to begin awakening the body by working into the neck. So let's just start by dropping the chin towards the chest. As you drop that chin into the chest, feeling into the back of the neck, really drop those shoulders down away from the ears. Lifting the crown up, chin still tucked in. On your next inhale, coming up through center, and exhaling, the chin up towards the ceiling. I'm just taking a few breaths here. Inhaling up to center and dropping the left ear towards the left shoulder. And then take your right hand out away from the body. Straightening and pointing the fingers down towards the mat. This should increase the stretch a little bit. You might even begin to move the hand forwards, backwards. And releasing the hand back to the knee, inhaling the head up, and dropping opposite ear to the opposite shoulder. So if you have the right ear to the right shoulder, go ahead and take your left hand out at an angle, reaching diagonally towards the ground. You should feel a deepening stretch in the side of the neck. And then beginning to move your hand forward towards the knee and backwards. Returning your hand to the knee, inhaling, drawing the head up through center. And we'll just take a few half circles. So dropping to one side, chin through center, and then up here to the other shoulder. Just doing this half circle for a few breaths. And if it feels good to you today, go ahead and take a few full circles. And switching direction. And as you're ready, bringing the head back to neutral. Go ahead and switch the cross of your feet. So put the more awkward one in front. And this is just one little way we can start to find balance by putting our awkward side forward. Go ahead and lace your fingers, pressing in all the way to the webbing. And then pressing your palms forward, drawing the shoulder blades back, inhaling your hands up overhead, lengthening the spine, drawing your elbows in towards each other. Feeling a weight in your hips and sit bones as you continue to rise up through the crown, and through the palms of the hands. From here, we're just going to take a couple twists. So twisting your chest towards one side, towards one wall, and then the other. One more each side. And then releasing my hands down and uncrossing. Go ahead and inhale the arms up, palms facing each other, shoulders down, away from the ears, crown rising up. Go ahead and drop that right hand to the mat and beginning to bend over towards the right, lengthening into that left side body. You might even press into that right hand a little bit to gain just a little bit more length in the right side body here as well. They say the spine is responsible for your age. So as we work into the spine and keep our spine healthy, we actually keep ourselves younger. Inhaling up through center, both hands up, finding your length here at the top before dropping that left hand to the mat, bending over to the left. Or the opposite way. Breathing here into the side body, pressing into that bottom hand, finding a little extra length in that side that's bending. Reaching out through the top fingertips. And on your next inhale, moving up through center and releasing. We're going to just do a couple gentle twists here. So taking your left hand across to the right knee, right hand behind your body. We're going to inhale, lengthen, and exhale, twist, and maybe gazing out over that back shoulder. Gently releasing. Bringing the right hand across to the left knee, left hand behind your back. Pressing into the mat to find some length there. On an inhale, and then exhale, deepening into the twist, maybe gazing out over your back shoulder. And gently releasing to center. Beginning to walk your hands forward into a forward fold. As you come forward as far as you can, reaching that crown forward, lengthening the spine. On an inhale, then on an exhale, you begin to drop down, releasing the head and neck. Still pressing into those hands, encouraging your tailbone to remain planted on the mat. And beginning to walk your hands over towards the right. And maybe walking those left fingertips forward just a little bit more. Really pressing into the hands to kind of parallel both shoulders over the ground. And from here, releasing the head and neck into a forward fold. On your next inhale, coming back through center, exhaling over to the left. This time the right fingertips crawl forward just a little bit more. Maybe pressing it into that left hand to kind of help get the shoulders parallel to the ground. From this space is where you'll want to begin to bend deeper into that forward fold, releasing the head and neck. On your next inhale, coming back through center and pressing all the way up. From here, go ahead and begin to make your way onto your hands and knees. Making sure as you do that you're stacking your joints. So you're going to want your knees under hips, wrists under shoulders. Nice wide palms, so really spreading each finger. As you place your palm on the mat, I want you to feel into all four corners of your palm. And at the same time, I want you to feel all 10 fingertips pressing into the mat. So creating that nice wide base. And then from here, we're going to just connect your breath back to some movement. So on an inhale, arching up. And exhale, pressing into the hands and knees, back into cat. Continue at the pace of your own breath, beginning to wake up the spine. In my case, and maybe your case, beginning to work out some of the knots from a good night's rest. And as you connect the breath to movement, see if you can begin to build a little bit of heat. So as you're pressing back into cat, really drawing that belly in, squeezing the abdominals. On the inhale, as you come forward, really dropping that chest down between the shoulders, lifting the crown and tail. A few more times. And after your final round, you're on right now, meeting at neutral spine. Go ahead and tuck those back toes under. And press your hips up and back for the first down dog. You can take it with straight legs right off. I like to bend my knees into my first one, really focusing on my spine. So I want you to roll your shoulder blades out and your armpits in. Really pressing in to all 10 fingertips and the entirety of the palms. Your neck should be relaxed, gazing back towards your heels. Tailbone really pressing up towards the sky. Almost as if you can take some weight off your arms by just pressing that tailbone up. And then from here, let's just walk the legs out a little bit. So pressing one heel down and then the other. On your next inhale, bending deeply, gazing forward. On your exhale, walking or hopping your feet to your hands. Let's take a couple breaths here in forward fold. So again, let's keep a nice bend in the knees for now, bringing the lower belly onto the thighs. And you can either grab your elbows or keep your hands on the mat, really releasing that head and neck. You might just begin to press into the heels here a little bit, bending and straightening the legs. Tucking the tailbone up, and beginning to roll up vertebra by vertebra. And taking your time, letting the head and neck come up last. Once you've reached the top, go ahead and inhale your arms up. Exhale back into forward fold. Inhaling, flat back. And exhale, placing your hands and stepping back into high plank. You can take a couple breaths in a high plank here. So I want you to squeeze your thighs in towards each other. Press out through your heels. Press into the hands as if you could push your spine out between your shoulder blades. Drawing that belly button in. Drawing the crown forward. Now go ahead and drop your knees, chest, chin, squeezing your elbows in towards each other. Inhaling up just into baby cobra. So from here, for baby cobra, I want you to just lift your hands off the mat. So your baby cobra is mostly just what you can do with your muscles. And then with your hands back on the mat, Maybe just press a tiny bit more in, deepening into that back bend. Drawing those elbows in towards your sides. And then pressing back into child's pose. Just taking a few breaths here. Spreading across the shoulders. Relaxing the belly. Inhaling back up into your hands and knees, tucking the toes, pressing the hips back into down dog. Full down dog this time, straightening or working on straightening those legs, pressing those heels back towards the mat. On your next inhale, bending the knees, gazing forward. Exhale, feet to hands. And inhale here. Exhaling at the bottom. And on your next inhale, rising all the way up. And exhaling, hands to heart. Inhaling up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, flat back. And exhale, placing the hands, stepping or jumping back into high plank. One inhale at the top here. And on your exhale, knees, chest, chin, or straight down to chaturanga. Coming all the way to the mat. On your inhale, baby cobra. And exhale, back towards child's, but then all the way up into down dog. Bringing that left foot towards center. Inhaling the right heel up, three-legged dog. Exhale, gazing forward, stepping that foot between your hands. We're just going to take a couple breaths here in low lunge. If you have blocks, maybe grab them and have them close by. Go ahead, swivel that back heel to the mat. On your next inhale, windmilling up into warrior two. Making any micro adjustments here. Double checking your knee. Beginning to feel the opening across the front of your hips here. Drawing that front knee back towards the back wall. On your next inhale, straightening into that front leg. Shifting your hips back and side body forward. Coming in towards triangle. So from here, from this lengthened spot, go ahead and just allow your hand to fall where it does. Either on your ankle, ground, block. Drawing that top hand up towards the ceiling. Maybe even begin to gaze up towards that top hand. Opening across the chest. Moving the block, if you've got it there, and inhaling, coming back up. Bending in back into that front knee for warrior two. On an exhale, go ahead and windmill your hands down, framing that front foot, drawing that back heel up off the mat, and stepping back into down dog. Go ahead and inhale forward into plank. Exhale, chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, baby cobra or up dog. And exhaling back into down dog. From here, bringing that right foot towards the center of the mat. Inhaling the left foot up. Exhale, stepping through. Just taking a couple breaths here in low lunge. Should have the blocks close to you. And swiveling that back heel down to the mat. Inhale, windmilling up into warrior two. Again, making any micro adjustments. Checking that your knee is stacked. Hips are opening. You may even draw energetically, so isometrically drawing that heel in towards the instep of the back foot. Making this a very active pose. Drawing your belly button up towards your spine. On your next inhale, straightening that front leg, drawing the hips back, side body forward. From this space of length, go ahead and just allow that hand to drop to the floor or the shin or a block. Top hand rises up. On your next inhale, coming up, bending into that front knee. Exhaling, windmilling the hands down. Framing that foot, back heel comes up off the mat. And then stepping back into down dog. Bending into the knees here. On an inhale, gazing forward. On your exhale, stepping forward, floating your feet to your hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release down. Inhale, rising all the way up. And exhaling, hands to heart. On your next inhale, go ahead and bring your feet so they're touching. And then from here, tucking your tailbone in and up, squeezing the glutes, drawing your kneecaps up towards your belly, so that will tighten your quads. So from this really strong base, pressing into the mat and tightening the muscles, we're going to go ahead and begin to sit back into chair pose. So bending the knees, drawing the knees together. Allowing that tailbone to drop back. Take a peek down, make sure you can see your big toes. If not, if you're forward, go ahead and shift that weight back. And then drawing the chest up. Go ahead and bring your palms together at your chest. And we're going to take a little twist here on an inhale, hooking that right elbow over the left knee. And then just double checking that one knee isn't coming forward. So keeping your knees in line with each other. And release through center. Exhale, other side. And gently releasing. Exhale, forward fold. And just take a minute to release here. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. A few more times. In through the nose and out through the mouth. One more time. In through the nose and out through the mouth. And go ahead and bringing your hands flat to the mat, bending into your knees, and stepping back into high plank. Exhaling down through chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhaling, up dog. And exhaling back into child's pose. Just reconnecting with our breath and body here. Feeling any tension, releasing out through our forehead, where our head meets the mat. next inhale, coming forward onto the hands and knees, tucking the toes under and shifting the hips back into down dog. Inhaling that right foot up, and exhale, stepping it through. From here, I want you to take that left, screwing it up on the legs, on the sides today. But go ahead and take that forward foot and shimmy it out to the edge of the mat. From there, you're going to bring both hands to the inside of that foot. And you're just going to begin to move forward and back, kind of work into that hip there. And then from here, dropping that back knee onto the mat, releasing the top of the foot to the mat. You might be here today. It might feel like already a pretty deep stretch in your hips. If you have a block, maybe you come down a little further onto that block, or maybe you come all the way down onto your elbows, one or both. You can begin to roll out onto the outside edge of that bent leg. So peeling like the sole off the mat. And on your next inhale, coming back up. And tucking those back toes under, lifting the hips. And I'm gonna have you release back into down dog. But we're not done with that leg yet. So for me, it was the right. Continue with whichever foot you just had forward. So inhale that leg back up. And then exhale, we're gonna bring it through and place the whole shin on the mat for pigeon. So you can have the foot angled back in towards your body. That's if you're still pretty tight. If you have a little bit more space for opening, you're gonna start working that shin towards parallel to the front of the mat. And then you wanna go ahead and flex that foot if you have it more towards parallel. And dropping that back knee on the mat. And you can do the top of the foot or you can keep the toes tucked, whichever feels better for your knee. And then beginning to walk down onto your elbows into your pigeon. Maybe you put your forehead on a block. Maybe you can go all the way to the mat. Next inhale, beginning to press up. Moving that block if you had. Tucking those back toes under if they're not already. And really pressing those hips up to release that bottom foot. And pressing back into down dog. Now we're going to take the opposite side. For me, the left. Inhaling that left foot up. Exhale, bending the knee. And stepping it through. Go ahead and shimmy the edge of that foot out to the edge of your mat. So you can bring both arms on the inside of that foot. From here, we're just gonna rock forwards and backwards, getting to find some opening in the hips. And then dropping that back knee to the mat. Maybe you come down to on a block, maybe you come down to one elbow, maybe both elbows. And you can begin to roll that knee out. So basically you're coming up onto the outside edge of that foot. you're ready, beginning to press back up onto the hands, tucking the back toes under, and pressing for a release. So go ahead and just take that left foot straight back up into three-legged dog, and bringing it back through to place that shin on the mat for pigeon. Once you've got your foot where you want it, go ahead and drop that back knee. Again, you can keep the back toes tucked or lay the top of the foot on the mat, whichever is better for your knee. Maybe take a gaze down at your hips, or place your hand on your sacrum. So we don't want the hips dropping to one side or the other. We want to try and find that nice, neutral back. So once you think you've found that, begin to walk forward onto your elbows. Maybe you place your head on your block. Maybe you come all the way to the mat. Once you're ready, beginning to walk up onto your hands, tucking those back toes under if they're not already, shifting the hips up and releasing that back foot. Go ahead and bring the big toes together, and this time bring the knees nice and wide for this child's pose. So probably all the way to the edge of your mat, each knee touching the edge of your mat. And then beginning to press the hips back. Maybe even pressing into the hands a little bit, just to get a little more length before dropping your forehead to the mat. On your next inhale, coming back forward onto your hands and knees, drawing the knees back in and making your way onto your back. If you have a strap, pillowcase, belt, anything of that sort close by, go ahead and grab that. If not, you can do these stretches without them as well. Give me just a second to do that. And once you have, go ahead, make your way all the way onto your back. Let's start with the soles of our feet on the mat. I'm just going to draw the right knee in, hugging it into your chest. And just to kind of work deeply into the hips to create a little more space there, you're going to really hug that knee in. And as you're hugging in with the arms, I also want you to press back into your hands with the knee. See if you can feel a little pocket of space open up in the back of the hip there. And then release. And go ahead and draw the left knee in, hugging it in towards your chest. And then from here, beginning to press that knee back up into the hands as you're hugging down. And gently releasing. Go ahead and take your strap now, or if you don't have any, you can grab behind the thigh. But you're going to begin to push the ball of that right foot up towards the sky. So you might be here with your strap. You might gently just be holding behind the thigh. but this is very energetic. So you're going to be pushing the sole of that foot up towards the ceiling the whole time. Just breathing into that opening. So I'm going to go ahead and straighten that left leg all the way onto the mat. Flexing the foot, pressing out through the heel. And as both feet are working energetically, you're pushing out through that bottom foot as well as the top one. Go ahead and see if you can find some relaxation in the belly. So just kind of releasing any tension in the abdominals, any tightness around any of the organs. Just feeling fully relaxed in the belly. Legs are activated. Arms and shoulders, if you're holding, just a gentle hold. If they're on the straps, completely relaxing, other than your grip, completely relaxing the shoulders and upper arms. Just letting gravity do the work there. Go ahead and bring both straps into the right hand. And beginning to open that right foot over towards the right. And you really only want to go so far as that left hip isn't starting to pick up off the mat. So maybe taking that left hand into the left hip crease, just encouraging it to stay planted on the mat. On your next inhale, coming up through center, switching both straps into the left hand, or if you're holding the leg, just gently supporting the inner thigh, and you're going to begin to drop that right leg over towards the left. If you do have a strap, maybe you pull just a little, tug just a little bit harder on the strap side that's on the outside of the foot. Feel pretty deep stretching. If you're not feeling it too much, go ahead and tug the toes up a little bit more towards the face. On your next inhale, coming up through center, bending the knee, releasing the strap. Go ahead and release that right foot onto the mat next to the left. Just place both hands on your hips. I'm going to take just a couple breaths here. See if you feel any difference between the way each leg lays or rests on the mat. Maybe see if there's any difference in the way each hip sits on the mat. And on your next inhale, drawing the left knee in and either hooking the ball of that foot or extending that foot up towards the ceiling. Maybe you have a strap, maybe you're holding behind the thigh. And really begin to press out through that heel and also pressing through the bottom heel. So pressing that heel forward, but also energetically pushing that thigh down towards the mat. We're going to keep both these legs, so keep coming back to this. Keep both these legs very active throughout this series here. And also while those legs are active, go ahead and relax again in the belly. Relax again in the arms, the shoulders. And switching both straps into the left hand. You need to open that foot up towards the left, bringing the right hand to the right hip crease, encouraging it to remain planted on the mat. On your next inhale, coming up through center, switching the hands over to the right. Maybe pulling just a little bit on the left side of that strap if you're using a strap. So the outside of the foot kind of opens, so you're opening up more over the top of the foot. And then from there, beginning to drop that left leg over towards the right. Making sure, again, that that right leg, the thigh is pushing down towards the mat. You're also pushing out through the heel. Both legs very active and releasing in the belly. Inhaling up through center, and bending that knee, releasing the strap, and allowing the left leg to come down alongside the right. Go ahead and put your straps off to the side. Bringing the soles of the feet together, knees wide. We're going to come into Baddha Konasana. So from here, just pressing gently the soles of the feet together and really allowing those knees to just drop open towards the mat, letting gravity do the work here. Again, relaxing the belly. Your whole back body just resting. And then taking your hands, gently supporting behind the thighs, bringing the knees back up. And I would like to spend a little time in an inversion in this class. So if you can, go ahead and find a flat place against the wall. We're just going to be there for a few minutes. So take a couple minutes to do that, to find a nice flat surface, a mirror, anywhere basically that you can put your legs. So we're going to do legs off the wall. Once you've found that space, you're just going to sit sideways, bringing your hips pretty close to the wall, maybe just a few inches away, an inch or two. From there, you can begin to lean back and draw your legs up, and then you'll just swivel out and away. Maybe you even can use your elbows to shimmy. You pretty much want the back of your legs against the wall, or as close to as you can. We're just going to relax here, allowing the blood to reverse its flow, bringing fresh oxygenated blood into the brain. Inversions, or reversing the blood flow, is one way to reverse aging. It's also great for the lower back, if you're experiencing any lower back pain. As we begin to prepare to close the class, doing our last couple movements, go ahead and bend your knees, bring the soles of your feet to the wall, and then go ahead and just roll onto one side or the other to release from this pose. And pressing up to seated, making your way back to your mat. We're going to take just a couple more poses as we make our way down into Shavasana. So coming back onto your back, go ahead and cross the left ankle over the right knee, into a figure four, and then from here drawing that bottom foot up. You might thread through the needle and grab behind the thigh. You may grab on top of the shin. And as you're ready, gently releasing the sole back to the mat. And crossing the legs and switching the cross, right ankle over left knee. And drawing that knee back parallel towards the front of your mat. Flexing that top foot. Go ahead and thread the needle, either grabbing behind the thigh or in front of the shin. And just breathing into the back of the hip here. Beginning to slow the breath down again. Releasing some of that heat that we built up during class as we prepare for meditation. Gently releasing and crossing the feet. We're going to go ahead and go into a twist. You might just take the simple twist, but I'm also going to give the options to go a little bit deeper into this final twist. So you're going to take that left ankle, again, cross it over the right knee. This time, you can go ahead and drop both knees over to the right, and that's the simple. You might take that left foot and straighten it straight out on the other side, and walk this back foot a little bit more towards the back wall. So I'm going to show you another angle. You may just do this, or you may straighten that top foot and walk that back foot back. Go ahead and bend into that top leg if you straighten it. Coming back up through center. And switching sides. into that top leg. Run both knees up, uncrossing. And we're going to go ahead and anchor away all the way down into Shavasana, allowing the legs to come out long, relaxing the feet as they fall out away from each other. Go ahead and bring the hands out and away from the body just a little bit, just so it's comfortable. And then maybe you'll even roll your shoulder blades, kind of tuck them under and towards each other. Having a nice straight spine. Let your feet at the back of your head. So that your neck feels straight. From here, if you're still exercising any control over the breath, go ahead and just release that now, allowing your breath to return to its natural rhythm. Lately, I've been working pretty deeply with manifesting my ideal self. So for the remainder of this Shavasana, this meditative state, I want you to come up with an I am statement. So maybe it is I am love, or I am grateful, or I am growing. Maybe it's I am forgiveness. But whatever that is for you today, go ahead and come up with your I am statement. And if you begin to find your mind wandering, I want you to just come back to that I am statement. Getting to bring awareness back into the body. I want you to take one deep inhale in through the nose and sigh it out through the mouth. Go ahead and take any last stretches that feel good to you here. And from there, you will be coming to your side into fetal and making your way up to seated. I'm going to give you a minute or two to meet me in seated before we close the class. once you've made your way into seated, let's go ahead and place our palms down on our knees this time. This is a position used to kind of contain your energy. It's like a closed loop to keep your energy within your own body. From this seated position, I want us to just check in once again, like we did at the beginning of class. Just taking a moment to scan from the top of our head down through our neck, shoulders, arms, fingertips. From the base of our neck down our spine, checking in with our shoulder blades, our rib cage, checking in with our lower back, sacrum, checking in with your belly and the internal organs, even your heart. Checking in from the hips, down the legs into the knees. From the knees, down the shins and calves into the ankles. And finally, from the ankles, down through the foot, all the way out through the toes. Just making a mental note of any differences you may feel between the beginning of the class and now. Bringing our palms together, pressing the base of our thumbs into our heart center. Let's take an inhale of gratitude. And let's exhale that gratitude back out into the world. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste.